think a younger man without money is less high value than an older man with money?
No, no. It's all about class and personality, behavior and education, having great future plans.
Do you think men look better in suits or smart casual?
Good question, Miranda. I don't know. I think suits are appropriate for certain occasions, like work, functions, special occasions, black tie events, etc. But I think smart casual looks more, up to date and attractive.
Do you think the majority of younger females prefer men their own age rather than older men?
Yes. I think majority prefer men their own age.
Young, high-value female in today's society. Their likes and their dislikes, which fly in the face of what certain people say on YouTube. I am going to be changing tack a little bit on my next video, changing my content up a little bit. I'm going to be talking about a biracial female that I used to really like. And I still like some of her stuff, but not the same as I used to. And I don't think that she's a particularly good role model for light-skinned women. And what I'm going to be talking about today is Kevin Samuels. A biracial woman sent me a link to a video that he did, and she thought he was being a bit unfair to our types of females, to our kind of female. So I went and had a look, and I totally agree with her. So I'm going to be talking about that today. Now, everyone knows that I've got friends in the alternative lifestyle community, good friends. So, it's not really about that. I'm not going to be going below the belt, even though I could. I'm not going to be doing that. So thank you to the new subscribers and to the old ones that have stuck by me. I do really appreciate that. So I hope you enjoy the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all again soon. I'm not going to be talking about the manosphere for much longer, because YouTube's a bit boring, isn't it? You've got to sit through 2 weeks of it to try and get content. So I'm going to change up a little bit. That's if no one pisses me off. So please like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all again soon.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
So what do you got on the topic?
So you were talking about having a high value man, and
the question I asked is, why should the top 10 to 15% of men care what the bottom 80 to 85% of women want or say?
I think that they should care because it's a difference in mindset between them and then the top 15% of women, So when you start to notice what those type of women want, it gives you more value in the top 15% of women.
But they don't want them.
Yeah, I mean, but it's
No. If you were a 10, let me do.
So before we even start, he's taken one look at her. She's a biracial with European features, very pretty. And already he's sowing the psychological seed of telling her of hinting to her that she's in the bottom 85% of females, that she's average.
If you were a 10,
okay,
universally a 10, would you honestly care about what an average man thought?
It depends on what I do.
No. Thank you for relationships. Why is it different for you if you were a 10?
Because it's it just depends on what you do.
No, it doesn't. We're talking about. I'm not talking about celebrity guys.
Okay.
I'm talking about VP of Mergers and Acquisition. I'm talking about the business class.
True.
See, let me tell you something. The wives don't care. Melinda Gates didn't care that Bill was cheating because she was the wife.
And I thought he told her that she couldn't talk about celebrities, and yet he's talking about Bill Gates and his wife. He's also reiterating quite a lot, saying putting the psychological seed in. If you were a 10, make sure you know that you're not a 10. Make sure you know that you're not rated highly on the beauty scale of 1 to 10.
The girl that was cheating is a side chick. Man will have sex with an average woman, but he ain't gonna marry her. That's what strip clubs and whores are for.
What about the NBA players?
Again, I'm
that
not
are
talking
marrying
about. I'm
these
not talking.
low average.
Okay, I
women?
need you to understand something. I need you to focus, please. Please stop asking me about celebrities, entertainers, and athletes. Can you stick to the people that we are?
She's already surrounded by high-value men anyway. And then he said something about stick to people like us, how we are. No, Kevin, she's not like you. She's in a different class than you are. She's accepted into different classes more than you are. So don't say people like we are. People like us. There is no us. There is no us.
Yet you feel as though that men should care about what average women think. Just because, what? Because they'll have sex with them?
Yeah.
No. That just means you're an orgasm.
Sorry, I just think it's hilarious. Because they spend so much time.
What state do you live in?
California.
What city?
LA.
So he calls her an orgasm, an average woman, not wanted, side chick. Then he asked where she lived, and she told him LA, which is the city of the stars, Hollywood. And if you notice how laid back she is. Notice how she's laughing. She's quite happy. She's okay with these insults. And why is that? I know why. It's because she only cares about the opinions of men that matter, the ones who actually judge the beauty scale of 1 to 10, which is the rest of the planet of males. She knows that his opinions don't matter to her or to women like her, to women of her kind. His opinions don't matter. She's unbothered by the opinions of a dark-skinned male from the deep south, from the manosphere. She only cares about the men that matter, the ones who actually judge what beauty is on a scale of 1 to 10. And it's the same for all of us. We only care about the opinions of people that matter. And you can see he's getting quite irritated by how laid back she is. And I think he feels a bit insulted because he knows that his opinions don't really matter to her.
A lot of them have average-looking women, though, at home.
I don't give a shit. See, the problem is if you have to stick to the conversation right here, you can't win.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's no different than me sitting around talking about Rihanna and Beyonce and Saweetie. Do you know them?
No, I mean, I've been to their parties. But
Thank you, but you paid them.
I didn't pay them.
Women of her class don't have to pay.
With somebody else for. See, you ladies don't like to stay in reality because you just want to be right. Are you married?
No.
Do you want to be married?
Yes.
Do you want children?
Yes.
Do you think your husband will be a musician, an actor, or an athlete?
Probably. I'm serious. Probably. Those are the men that I've dated.
How old are you?
29.
No.
Now he's saying that she's 29, which seemed okay at the beginning when she said she was 29. I've heard European men on YouTube saying that men who say that women over 25 or 25 and over have hit some sort of wall, it's a coping mechanism for them. A coping mechanism for men who can't get women. And these men who are saying this are attractive men. You don't get attractive men saying negative stuff about attractive women. I think they even said that a lot of these men are depressed. They use it as a coping mechanism because they can't get women. They're at the doctors, I've said this before, they're usually very depressed types of males and, they're on medication, antidepressants, that kind of thing. So they will say that a 25-year-old is too old because They can't get women like that. They can't get women of her class.
I don't know. I mean, I have a pretty good resume.
Of dicks, nice, but you got no wedding rings.
No.
Because you're a side chick.
No, I've actually been proposed to before. And
is it before or after the orgasm?
I actually, the funny thing is, the one guy who proposed to me, I didn't have sex with him.
Now, was this...
Yeah.
Was this when you were in college, or was this after college?
No, I was about 27. And like about 2 years ago.
And did he play professional sports or like Canadian basketball? Or,
no, he played in the NBA.
And okay, and if you turned him down, why?
Because he had 7 kids with 6 different women, and I didn't.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
I didn't want to be the wife.
So why in the hell would you? You deserve what you get. That's why we laugh at women like you. I ask you if you want to be married, do you want to have kids, and when I ask you is, do you think your husband's going to be in this group of men who tend to live this lifestyle? You say yes, and that's what you openly pick for. Instead of going over and dating men over on the business side, because here's the problem. You can't handle a man over here because you got to be more than just cute.
I have more than that to offer.
Well, then why are you putting yourself in a group of men who you say do these things?
I don't know. In LA, it just seems like that's just everybody, you know?
Excuse me?
Like
the dating scene is only NFL, NBA, music, and actors. That's the entire dating scene.
No, I mean everybody else is like, you know, Uber drivers or, you know, DoorDash drivers, and I make a decent amount of money myself. So it's just like
I swear to God, I didn't pay her. I swear to God, I didn't pay her.
It's like I don't want to date somebody who makes less or does less than me.
First he says she's too old to find a man and to get married. No one's going to want her at 29. And yeah, and then she explains that she was proposed to by an NBA player. Correct me if I'm wrong, aren't NBA players loaded? Haven't they got a lot of money? High value? Plenty money? She says she turned him down because he had baby mamas, different children. But Kevin should have known that that's not the reason she turned him down. No one's going to turn an NBA player down if he's got 50 children, if she's attracted to him, if she's got feelings for him. The reason she turned him down is because she didn't have feelings for him and she didn't love him, she didn't want to marry him. But she didn't want to be horrible and say that on a live show. You know, it's called etiquette. It's called knowing how to behave properly. It's called acting like a lady. She didn't want to put it all out there. She didn't want to say, well, I didn't love him, I didn't. Because if she had loved him, she would have married him. 50 children, 100 children, she would have married him if she'd wanted him. She turned down a wealthy NBA player. Why? Because women like that can pick and choose. They don't just have to marry anyone. And then what did Kevin say? He couldn't handle a man over there in the manosphere. Who'd want to? What type of woman would want to? Not women like her. Then he's trying to say that the NBA player is some Pookie and Ray Ray or something. I've never known a billionaire Pookie and Ray Ray. Never known one of them. And why would she? She said she wouldn't date an Uber. She didn't want to date an Uber driver. Why would she? Well, why would she want to date a man who makes less than her? However, she would. She would date someone who makes less than her if she had feelings for him, if she was attracted to him. She'd date a blue-collar guy, white, black, a normal American black man, and a normal American white man, if she wanted him. See, what I don't think he understands about females is that money goes out the window when you're in love. whether that's sensible to some people or not. But classy women like that, she's not the type who's going to go for the bag and, you know, she can turn men down. It's not all about money with classy females. That may be after a bit of money. They don't talk about it. They don't let people know because they know it's low grade and people are going to look down on them. And so even the women who go after money, they don't make it known. He calls them businessmen. Can't handle a man over here. Listen, she wouldn't care if one of them was dripping in diamonds. Who would want an ignorant, unsophisticated, naive, emotionally childlike male, with the cherry on the top being with that nigger mindset? What do you black Americans say? A whole nigger.
Did you go to college?
Yes.
Where'd you graduate from?
USC.
What do you do for a living?
TV film.
What does that
Like
mean?
I'm doing 2 movies at the end of the month.
Are you an actress or are you in front of the camera or behind the
An
camera?
actress. Yeah.
Okay.
I make a good amount of money for
So
what
what?
I do.
So, congratulations,
And
man.
I go to
Well,
like
man,
a lot
but
of
but understand.
stuff, so.
No, I need you to listen. Men don't care about your money. Men pick woman based upon what?
Why was he shaking his head and looking at her with disdain when she said she's an actress, a paid actress in Hollywood?
Their looks and what they have to offer.
No, their looks in their body. That's where it starts.
Yeah.
So, on the scale, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10",
Dress size?
about 4,
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
160.
If you had to rank yourself on a scale from 0 to 10, you can't use 7. Fresh face out of the shower, your hair. What would you give yourself?
Okay, I consider a 10 to be. I know you don't consider Beyonce to be a 10, okay? Nope. But I consider Beyonce to be a 10.
I don't care.
consider Jessica Alba to be a 10. I would rank myself at a 9.
In nobody's life are you a 9.
I would
Especially
rank
not, you're a
myself-
6. You're an adjustable.
rank myself
You're a
at a
6.
9.
You're cute. You're cute, but in nobody's life are you a 9 or even close to Jessica Alba or Beyonce.
I would say I'm a 9.
Right,
I
of course you.
literally get paid for what I look like.
So did
I've made a lot of money based upon what I look like.
So did Wheezy. Wheezy got paid for what she looked like. Aunt Esther got paid for what she looked like.
That's not fair.
It's your man. Where are your modeling contracts? And if you're an LA 9, you should be on the cover of Cosmo. You should be on the cover of People. If you're an LA 9,
No, I mean I've been in the Maxim Hot
okay.
100 list.
Okay, that's fine. Man,
like-
how long? You may have a nice body.
She's just said that she was in Maxim's top 100, and she was about to mention other magazines that she's been in, but he cut her off, talked over her, so no one could hear.
But I'm saying that a 6 is cute. Okay, even an adjustable 6. But I'm not gonna put you up there with Beyonce. I wouldn't give you better than Beyonce or Jessica Alba. So you're saying this? Okay, I've been all over the place for saying Saweetie is an adjustable 6.
Saweetie?
And you're saying that you look better than her.
I would rank Saweetie at
Different ways. Now, he said that she's, no way is she a 9. In no one's life is she a 9. She's an adjustable 6. She's just cute. No way is she on Beyonce's scale of 8, because he rates Beyonce as an 8, doesn't he? And no way is she on Beyonce's scale of beauty. But there are certain other women that he feels are on Beyonce's level when it comes to looks. And here are 2 of those women now. This lady here called herself a 4 or a 5, and Kevin disagreed with her and said, no, you're not a 4 or a 5, you're an 8. Another woman here who came on, and he asked her the same questions of what do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 regarding beauty, and this lady called herself an 8, and Kevin was quite happy for her to say that. He wholeheartedly agreed with her.
Like 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
I said either 4 or 5.
Come a little bit closer to the camera. Let me lean in.
Are you seeing
No. You're an 8.
Oh my god, you're lying.
I don't have any reason to lie. I don't know you, and
Oh. Well, I'm very flattered you think I'm 8.
I have no reason to you. Okay. Let's do something.
Okay.
The lighting is a little off, but you're 22. You have an even skin tone.
Samuel, channel, I would say an 8.
Okay.
Both attractive women, but are they on Beyonce's scale of 8 and the light-skinned girl isn't?
And you're talking about, I go to these places and that place. Due respect, man. Being in TV, film, cool. You make money, cool. But oftentimes you ladies get it confused. You confuse your socioeconomic status as to your sexual marketplace value. Those aren't the same. There are women who make more than you, who look better than you, who go to these same places.
Yeah.
And they're still not married to these guys because these guys aren't picking you. Who do these guys marry?
Who do these men marry? I think the person sitting right across from you, Kevin. They marry women like that. They marry women like her. He's saying that she goes to places where there are women that look better than her, earn more money than her. They don't get chosen. Perhaps he hasn't been listening to the conversation. Those women don't get chosen. She gets proposed to. She just turns them down. And another thing about this NBA player, this wealthy guy, who Kevin is saying is a pookie, and that men in the manosphere are better than him, what no one seems to have picked up on is, and it hit me straight away, is the fact that you've got this guy who's got, this wealthy man who's got 6 different women with children, and he didn't marry any of them. Who did he want to marry? He asked her to marry him out of all of those women, and she said no. She turned him down. He's known for saying that Kelly Rowland is, a 9 or a 10, and Beyonce is a 7 or an 8. I've always believed that Beyonce is the prettier one of the two. I don't follow trends like that. As far as I'm concerned, Beyonce is most definitely the prettier of the two. I asked a few men before I made this video, about 9. Different races, white, Jamaican, Eastern European men. Every single one of them said that they thought Beyonce was the prettier. So, I think that it's the opinions of the men that matter. If I'd been there, he gave her a 6. A cute 6. She's a lot more than that. He gave her a 6. That's not true. She's a lot higher than that. If I'd been there, they would have given me a 5. They wouldn't have liked me. I would have got a 5, a straight 5. And what I would have said, I wouldn't have been modest. I would have said, hang on a minute, no, if I was a 10, I am a 10. I'm a 10 to the men that matter. I'm a 10 to the rest of the planet. Your opinion doesn't really register when it comes to the majority of males on the planet. I'm judged to be a 9.6 out of 10. Let's not be petty. Let's call me a 10. I would have told him I'm a 10, but maybe not in your opinion, but to the men that matter.
Understand. First off, you don't get approached. Do you date guys who are businessmen?
Yeah. I mean, Let's see. The last guy that I dated was a rapper. The guy before that, he actually runs a retail company. Who was before that? I don't remember. Like I'm with guys like for a long time. Like I have my relationships are lasting like 2 years at the minimum.
That should tell you something, because you're about to run smack dab into the wall at 30.
It's a glorious wall.
And the point is, man, I think you're overvaluing yourself, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. The point is, you're still talking about men in a very small select group who have not chosen you.
Mm-hmm.
And asking you about dating men who are in the business sector, and honestly, the vibe you're giving is they're not on your level.
No.
Are you a dog
I go on
person?
eHarmony.
Are you a dog person or a cat person?
eHarmony.
Are you a dog person or a cat person?
A dog person. I'm a dog.
I bet you do.
Why would you say that?
Because
what's wrong with dogs?
There's nothing. I have a whole saying: "Buy a dog and die alone," because you're the same. You're talking about. Didn't pay her, people. I did not pay her. I did not pay her. And this
why you got your comments off?
Look, lady, I'm trying to be nice to you, but don't make me go there, okay?
Oh boy.
Is that your child?
No, it's my sister.
I'm really trying to be nice to you. I'm really trying to be nice, but what you're showing is the entitlement of modern women, and then when you guys start losing a conversation, you start becoming little catty girls. Bottom, you cannot get what it is you say you want. Maybe the kind of men you're going after don't want the kind of woman you are.
But it's just, I don't go after men. Like, I don't live my life to date or to find a man. That's not what I don't live for that. So the people that I've dated are just people that I just mingled with or met multiple times, hung out with. They asked me out, they pursued me, whatnot.
Cool.
But I just don't go after.
Cool, and that's fine.
So he's shaking his head even when, she's talking about her relationships. Last a while, she dates rappers and even businessmen, proper businessmen. And then he said really what the whole video applies to. He said, you're overvaluing yourself. What he really means to say is, well, I think you're that kind of light skin. That's what he's saying. He's saying that I'm going to drop you down a few because you think you're all that because you're light skin. I've heard from a lot of black people, on social media, that there's, in the Deep South, there's a certain type of a weird kind of resentment towards fairer skinned people. Now correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Kevin from the Deep South? I've got very little doubt that Kevin knows a lot about the psychology of black women. He was raised, wasn't he, with a lot of women, his aunties, sisters, cousins, relatives. But he doesn't have a lot of natural psychologies when it comes to other races of females, which is why he made the mistake of doing the dog joke. Have you got a dog? You're going to die alone. He should have already picked up that women like this, the women like the one he was talking to, they aren't the type to be left alone to die alone. They're always going to be having someone knocking on their door, no matter how old they are. She's not the type to die alone. I mean, you should be able to pick up on that. He was speaking to her like he speaks to black women, whereas all women aren't the same, some of us are in different cultures. We date differently. We have relationships differently. We marry differently. Kevin's channel is a black channel for black love, and it's great, isn't it? But it's not biracial love. It's not Hispanic love, Asian love, white love. It's none of those. I mean, congratulations. I think he's got people together, hasn't he? He needs to be congratulated on getting black people together, dating. I think 1 or 2 couples are maybe dating or in relationships, But if you look in his chat and his comment section, you'll see. I saw a video a few months ago. I think it might have been last year actually, and he put a picture of Beyonce up on the screen, and you could tell that there weren't people of different races. That there certainly weren't any light-skinned women in the chat, because when he put the picture up, all the women in the chat, I don't think I saw one say anything nice about Beyonce. They were saying things like, she looks like the Incredible Hulk, she's unattractive, she's nobody, you know? So you can tell there weren't any light-skinned women there, because they wouldn't have said it, would they? Neither would other races of women. Obviously unattractive men, because you don't get men of other races saying Beyonce is. Oh, the men in the chat were saying things like, she's nothing special, she's a 4, she's a 5, Beyonce is. I wouldn't date her. Well, we know you wouldn't, dummy, and I think that would have something to do with Beyonce. So obviously we've got unattractive people who are desperate for relationships in the chat. It's not a channel for the rest of the planet, really, because we don't date like that. We don't think like that, you know? Normal people don't actually think like that. So he knows a lot about the psychology of black women. I think that's where it ends, because I think you've got to be around. You've got to be raised with women of different races to be able to understand their psychology. It's not just what you've Googled or what you've researched. You've got to be to know how they think. Black women, yes, he's been around them all his life, so yeah, he obviously knows about the psychology of black women. I think we can safely say that these males that Kevin is calling businessmen and all that, you know, that they don't even like pretty women. They're very insecure, and they are making the normal, regular American black man look bad. They're making black men look bad, and I think that's a shame. I saw a bit of this show, is it called the Lapeef Network? There was a girl on there, intelligent, pretty, I think she's called Amira. And, you know, she was trying to be polite, but she knew that she was talking to dummies, and, you know, she was trying to humour them by, you know, laughing now and again, but you could tell she didn't mean it, she didn't find them funny. And then in the end you could see the irritation and the disgust that she was feeling, that how can grown males be so naive and dumb? They were behaving like they'd just stepped off the slow bus, the retards of the class. And you could tell that there were some black men in the chat, I think the conservative ones mainly, and you could tell they were really embarrassed at the representation being shown on the screen for American black men. They really do. I think those in the manosphere, they make black men look bad, and that's a shame.